I'd just like to say a few words before I start doing these things. If I never went to Japan, and if I just took Aikido like most of you are doing here in Canada or United States or Europe, what I'm about to say would have never come about. It never would have happened, right? And this is only happening because I saw O-sensei from 1964 to 68, for 4 years period. And Mass was there, and maybe he and I are the only two people in Canada that have, seen O-sensei. And we were very fortunate about it. And he didn't come out to teach every day or anything, if he's in the back room, he would come out for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? But I was fortunate to see him close to 250 times, right? But every time he came and did this, right, you get this gut feeling, we were not doing what he was doing, right? Yeah, we're trying to emulate what he's doing, right? And I don't think anybody ever figured it out, right? But on the other hand, he's also saying, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing, so how are you going to figure it out? Right? It might sound very strange, but this is what he used to say. I don't want you to know what I'm doing, right? And I used to wonder, I understand this in Japanese, and I said to myself, am I the only Japanese hearing these words right? 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 But he used to say this, and he wasn't about to tell anybody. And I saw a film of Shioda Sensei being interviewed in England when he came to England, and he said he was with O-sensei for 10 years, and he said he never explained once what he was doing, right? If you wanted him to know, he'd just do it again, and he said, right, watch, right? And this is it. So, right? So, 1 year, after about 3 years has passed, and I knew that, it's not what he was doing, but what was in his head, right? What was he basing this on, right? It has to be based on something. It's not just doing it. So at this party we gave him, I just asked him very offhandedly, because if I asked the question specifically, tell me what to do, right? He's not going to tell you, right? Right? And just the way he was wasn't going to tell you. So, right? But I said, why can't we do what you do? And he said, you don't understand yin and yang, right? So I spent the last 30 years, right, examining what this was. And when I meditated on the way home from Japan, I stopped 3 months in Hawaii. And after 1 month of meditation about yin and yang, right, this whole thing came clear to me, what this whole thing was about. And all the technique that we were doing could be fitted into it, right? I'm going to do these things to show you the difference, right? And just because I show you, I'm not saying you have to do what I tell you to do. I'm just telling you that there is a different way of doing it, right? And Robert wants to put this on tape because if I don't say it, I'm 73 now, and in another year or so I might be gone, and this whole knowledge will be gone, right? And for another person to come and solve this, right? And I don't know if it'll ever be solved, right? Because the whole thing is based on yin and yang. And if you don't work from that viewpoint, right, well, you just don't come up with an answer. Yin and yang is, right, it's a polarity, right? The left side and right side are equal, with a different nature of energy. Right? And these are always together. just like our left side and right side. Right? And the whole universe consists of this, top and bottom, front and back. We can't get away from it. Right? You know, it's ruled by this nature ever since this phenomenal universe started to exist. Right? So if we see the word ki, ki already means it's in harmony. Right? I think O-sensei wrote Aikido for, stress. Right? The top word I, which, is harmony, really doesn't have to be written. The ki alone means harmony. Right? And what is harmony? Right? If the front moves, the back moves. If the back moves, the front moves. Let's say your hand is touching this line. Right? So my half drops away. Where's your half of this? Right here, right? Has to be. I don't have to tell you. You said it, right? So whether you put it together, right, it's still there. Right? If you move and center your body to this, it's always between your hands. Right? Nothing complicated about it. We make it complicated. Right? Because why? Because we move our hand. Right? Now, when we have this yin and yang, this is like, right? Okay, I'll be white. He'll be black. Right. Now, when you look at that ball, or our earth, our own body, when this, right, this is literally two halves put together. Right? And when I come like this, right, let's say I'm the uke coming at, right? He cannot spread this. Or he cannot make it small either. He has to stay exactly where I am. Right? Yes. So what are you going to do? You're going to do a technique. Right, that's the only thing. You start to raise this. You can't. You cannot move it, because one thing you're going to learn, at the place this thing joins, it's like our Earth, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Right? You don't put up a tantrum and say, one day I'm going to be like this. Right? No, it's always stuck together. Right? The A equals B. And when this is understood, I cannot do this. Because he wants to be here. And I cannot come here. I have to leave it here. Right? But at the same time, he's right? Okay, he's pushing. Right? So once we both start to move, right, there's a movement. Right? But not this. Right? Right? Because I'm doing something he's not. Right? And this is where, right, let's say we're going to do this. Right? When he comes, right, we cannot spread it this way. Right? This. Right. Right? You're moving along through the center and out. Right? But not this. Right? This could come in, that could come in. Right? The same as the tsuki. Right? You can't have your and move it like this, right? Or move it this way. These are very dangerous moves. No, you don't move him. Leave him. Right? Right. Stay on the front. Right. Right. The previous one, he moved back. Right. Right. And these are the things. Okay, we do tsuki, like relax, relax, relax. Right. Right. Even here, you pulled in when you come in. Right. Out. That's better. Right. Right. And you're pulled in. This is why right? Somebody starts to do this, you pull in more. And this is what makes all these things so difficult to do, right? I know when you do it this way, it seems dangerous. So you feel safer by pulling in, right? But what's happening is making it harder for you to learn this. If you were coming out, relaxing, come out, out. No, you're going to come out. You're going to do it, right? Not so much that I'm doing korigashi, right? These things shouldn't hurt, right? But usually because you're moving back, it hurts, right? Because if you're like this and somebody's doing it, he starts moving back, right? So he starts to crank this more, right? But, center, right? When I was in Japan, I used to ask all these black belts who've been in this Aikido for about 15 years. I said, what's the center? Right? And if you ask 20 people, you get 20 different answers, right? So I said, well, what is this, you know? But when I saw yin and yang, right? Where's that ball? Right? It's, right side, left side, right? And that's the center. And just like on this mat, right? This and this is equal. That's why this is the center, right? But we have this in our own body, right? You all stand up. Put your hands together right in front of you. That's the center. Right? It has to be. If that doesn't make sense, stand on a line. Right? This is the center. And that's it. When you drive, you do this. When you ride a bike, you do this. When you skate, you do this. When you dance, you do this. Except in Aikido, you don't do it. Right? Right. Any other sport, right? We do it. And except, right, martial art or judo, grabbing things, these become the most difficult, right, to stay centered. Right? And this is the only way I can do it, if I stay centered to myself. Right? Because in a sense, you're always standing like this, and he starts to push on the side. Right. You're always square to your center. Right? Okay, right? Got enough stick, right? Now I just want, stand up, now close your feet up. If you got your feet close together, you can move forward, backward, sideways, left, right. When you stand this way, it limits your move. Right? In all sense, they never stood this way. Right? It was always heels together. That's it. Right? You didn't stand in any way as if to do anything. Right? So. Right, I'm going to start moving. So you're going to move to this. You're going to move your feet to this. Right. Relax it. You pull. Relax it. Oh, right. That's it. Right? So no matter how he pushes, right, the center is always there. He can pull. It's always there. Right. You can go in and turn it around, right? My center is here. He pushes. Right. And I'm not doing these things, right? Right. So the reason I'm a stickler, I guess, for center, right? It's because we always have it, right? And we're unaware of it. Right? During the time you haven't had your center. Right? But no, we prefer to, right, do these things. We give up our center for left or right. The fact that came to me was, you know where the black and white meets? That's the line that has to stop. Right? There's a few facts that I'm going to say. When two bodies are moving, and to do anything, one has to stop. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. And it's the same in any, right? If you want to saw wood, the wood has to be still, and the saw is moving. Or it could be vice versa. Saw got to be still, and you can move the wood. Right? That's understood, right? Right? Because if you don't understand this whole Aikido thing doesn't. So in Aikido, where do you put the stop? Right? You put the stop where you touch. Right? This is the stop point. Right? He's moving. Right? This is the stop point. Right? So all the stop is here. If it's here, right? Here and here. Right? If it's here, right where you hold, this is a stop. He moves. Right. I'm moving to this move that he makes on this. I'm not moving because he's moving. Right? There's more to this. Right. Right. So it doesn't matter. You come and I put the hand like this. Right? This is a stop point. Right? And my tension's on here. No matter what he does. Right? He can go anywhere he wants. Right. Right? So, right. Right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have, right? So, if it's, right? Stop is here. Go to guys. Right? If it's here, right? It's right here. Right? He pushes. Right? So, with that understood, right? Right? No, we got to do these moves, right? Let the other person push, and you're watching this. Our body has to come alive that you're watching these things. Right? No, we want to do script. Right? And until you get your showdown, this script is necessary because you got to learn 600 script. Right? And this is why this thing is really meant for people who've been doing Aikido 10, 15, 20 years. And you're starting to wonder, you know, what's behind all this nonsense? I mean, is there more to it? You're getting 40, 45. Your body can't take the punishment that you used to give it. Right? Maybe we'll smarten up. Right? And this is the record I want to leave you people. Right? If you ever come to that point. Right? It doesn't matter. Right? I can move this way, it's still here. I can move this way, it's still here. Right? Right. So let's say he moves this way. Right. 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 Oh. Do it that way. And one more thing about doing this. Never do it pulling in, because there's no such energy as pulling in. Energy is always going out. Right? And we have to, right, pay attention to ourselves. Right? And if you're working with somebody else that pulls in, you have to tell them to come out, come out. It's not easy. It took me over 3 years people telling me to come out before you can start coming out. Right? Our whole nature is, until you're about 1.5, you're all coming out. Right? Babies. Right? There's no baby that's pulled in like this unless they're sick. Right? But after that, something sets into us. Right? And everything goes this way. Right? In Aikido, we're trying to do it the other way now. Right? Because the nature is saying it's the other way. The human nature is this way. Right? And we're both going to do it this way. Nage and Uke is going to do it coming out. Right? So pay attention to this, because there are a lot of you here, you're very tight in the shoulder, right? Because you're pulled in, right? This is where doing it this way will start to loosen it up, because you're going out. Right? Because this has, everything in you has to loosen up. Right? And when we were there, right, at that time, before, since he passed away, if they asked you, how long are you going to stay? And if I'd have said 4 years, they'll say, okay, for the first 3 years, you take uke, right? Forget about throwing. Take uke for first 3 years, and the 4th year, you know what to do, right? Of course, I can't believe this, right? This is nonsense. I mean, hey, I want to learn, right? How to do all these things, to throw every different way. But at Hombu, they didn't do that much, right? In 1 year, if they covered 15 techniques, right? That was about it. And when the next year started, repeat this whole thing again. Right? So even if you stay 3 years, you only learn about 15 of this very basic thing. Right? And not much more. Right? But the important thing is uke, uke, uke. Right? And you only realize this, right, 5 or 6 years later. The uke has to really understand what he's doing. He's never going to hold like this. Right? And when he holds like this, for me to go and start doing this, I'm an idiot. Hey, I can kick him in the knee. Right? Right. He gets to center. He starts dropping. No, relax. Do it slowly. Why does he drop this? So, right, it kills my leg. And he's going to start twisting this so it kills my hand. He's got to do a lot of things, not just holding. Right? There's a lot of vulnerable spots. This could come, this could come. Hey, your both hand is dead. Right? And you still got to defend yourself. So, down, right? He pushes up, right? And this is why, right? This kind of technique comes out. Right? And when we say tenchinage, right? Tenchinage this one, right? Most of the attackers don't even know what the hell's to do. Right? They come with their hand out to be thrown. What is he supposed to know? Right. He kills this so he can't get kicked. Right? Come on. Right. And he's going to go in. No, not to fall. That's the kind of uke we have. Right. He goes, right. He's going to do it to me if I don't do anything. This is a uke's job. If he's smart, if he's being taught right. Right? That's why when you do tenchin, no, relax, you're going to do it the other way, right? Why does this come in? Right? To kill my feet. And if I don't do anything, he's going to let this go. Come on, quicker. Right, and he's going to do this. Why is he attacking? So you can get thrown? Well, I wish all the guy who attacks you is like that. I mean, right? Then you don't have to study Aikido. Nobody attacked you, so, right? He just comes here and I could do something, he falls down. Come on. Right? Right, Aikido attacker is the dumbest attacker, that I've seen. I mean, the guys who attack you in the streets are smarter, I mean. Right? Right. Right? That's why before he can do that, Right? I have to do that. Well, he's got me. Right? I was shown this once in Japan, and they told me everything follows this principle. And I knew it. Right? I didn't have to be shown for everything. Right? Right. Down. Right? Right. Right? You're not doing this because it's just he holds. Right? He goes down, so you go down with it. Right? Right? But this is where, right, he doesn't quite learn how to do this. Right? He comes in with his shoulder. He has to come in with this. Right. Right. Right? Whether he gets thrown that way or not, he has to practice bringing his center down. Right. Right? And this is a criteria of Aikido. Now your shoulder first, center first. Right. 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 But this is where, when you're learning these things, somebody has to keep telling you. Otherwise, you forget and you're coming in the shoulder and you don't even know it. Right? Right? And this is why these things works. Right? You see these things, right? Right? If you came in with your shoulder on that, right, you get bopped in the nose. Right? Because what we're learning is not so much to throw, right? If you're walking down the street and a sword comes shooting out, is that what he's going to do? Well, no. Right? This is what the whole issue is about. If the sword comes shooting out, no, you're going to get out of the way. And the only way he can get out of the way is coming forward. Right. And this is what the lesson is all about. Your energy's coming forward. We don't know what basic thing we're trying to learn. Right? When we do these kinds of things, we just think we're getting thrown. Right? Right. Wow! Right? Except you're not doing it that rashly. Right? But if it did happen, you can get out of the way. This is what we're eventually coming to. Right? We're not fighting whether I can throw him or you can hold me. Right? Right? And in doing this, you're doing this to, right, loosen your body. Loosen it to the point. Right? It's so loose. Right? Right? We don't know how loose we're supposed to be. Right? That's it. Right? But it's very difficult because, right? Right? If we start practicing this loose, right? Most people think this is wrong. Right? But when we were in Japan, everybody used to be like this. Right? There was no stiff person there. Right? The whole thing was, everybody thinking was, how to get softer, softer, softer. Right? Terry Dobson was somebody, 270 pounds when he was in Japan. Right? He was the biggest person there. But you'd be surprised how light he was. Right? Because he was moving. Right? Hey, there won't be any Japanese that can move him, 270 pounds, okay, you move me, and he's just flopped down on the mat. Right? You're not going to move him. Right? And that's better. Right? Right? And these are the points, right? Simple as these things are, right? You're coming in from here, coming in from here. I don't care if the technique is wrong or, right? Still, he's coming in from here. You backed off. Right? Follow me, follow me, follow me. Right. Right. Okay. So, I'm going to ask Mass to help me. Well, I won't use him too much because we're both getting older, and when Mass was young, right, I had the privilege of throwing him many, many times. And I enjoyed his, uke, right? But we're going back to the basic of what we're supposed to do, right? And when it comes to uke, there's not too many people who can teach you how to take uke, right? Most people don't even know, right? So he's the uke. What is he supposed to do when I do this, right? He's going to move with me. He's not going to resist. This is going. So he's going to start dropping this, right? He's going to start turning it himself. He's not going to wait for me to turn. He's going to turn this. Right. That's it. So it comes to a point. You don't know whether I'm doing it or he's doing it. Right? There is no victim in Aikido. Right? And people doing this, right? It is not so much trying to do something to him either. Right? When I go there, right, he has to move his body so when this comes, he's not going to block my move. Right? So when he comes, he is going right. Right? So you do this slowly. Right? If I just, right? He's doing, right? The very half of what I'm doing. But he does it in such a timing that I cannot suspect that, it'll always make me feel as if I'm doing it. Right? Because if he do it too fast, right? If he does it too fast, right? He's going way ahead of me. Right? So he has to do it at the same time. Right? And if you do this in the beginning, following, right? It doesn't matter if it's this way, right? He's going to follow, right? Right? You start to follow, right? And all this technique, he's going to follow, right? Right. Right? So, right? And this is the outcome of this, right? So, right? And this is the way we used to practice. See, there's one thing about uke. The teacher teaching the class, even in Japan, said nothing about uke. It's the partner that you pick, that you end up with. And I had the fortune, good fortune, I was able to speak the language with these people that I work, right? And they will tell me, enough for the day, because they can give you this much, a dose, right? What I'm not supposed to do or what I'm to do. You can't absorb it or your body can't. So they just tell you little by little, each day, they say follow. Right? So if he was doing this, right? Right? I'm not going to fight him, not resisting him, right? Making it hard for him to take it down or anything. Right? I'm going to move the way he's going to move. This is my lesson. Right? Right? And supposing he doesn't, if he moves, right, I'll move. Right? And if he does that, right, I'm not going to get taken like this. Right? Then you have to go and then get taken like this. Right? No. Right? If he moves, I move. Right? And this is the way to learn uke. But you got to do it slowly in the beginning. Right? If you do it fast, what happens is, when I do it fast, if you're not used to this, you're not going to follow, you're just going to go like this, right? Get taken like this, right? And from here, you get taken back. Right? The whole thing, I follow, he follows. Right? He's doing the very opposite of what I'm doing. And it doesn't matter what the technique is. Right? Right? Tension up, right? 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 It's not so much as that I do this and I whomp him and I throw him. Right? We're both learning. Right? I move, he moves. Right. Right. Right? Otherwise, the whole idea becomes a separation. Right? And even koregaishi, you don't have to do it so you throw him, right? Right. Right. But even here, right? I start to do this. He's going to move his body, so right? Right. So, we're going to stand up. We're going to do Ikkyo over again, right? And people, right? I just came back from Netherlands, and there were a few people there who are very heavy. And he says he's been trying to get light, right? But nobody can tell him how to get light, right? The only way that person can get light is if I do this, if he will start following me, then he'll get light. And this is the only way, because we're not talking about physical way, right? He's only heavy because he's dragging, right? In a sense, if I do this, he doesn't want to go where I'm going. He's sitting back, right? So, right, he gets heavy. Right? The only way he's going to get light if he's heavy is if I start doing it, he starts doing what I'm doing, right? Right. If he would just follow me, he'll get light. Right, look how light he gets. And this is true for anybody. So I want you to do Ikkyo in a very slow thing. And as a uke, try to follow exactly what the other person is doing. Right? Because this is, right, is one of the biggest points. Is going to help you if you want to be a good Aikidoist. Because take a look at this. If you keep doing this for about 5-6 years, right? I'm following him, I'm following him, I'm following him. Right? Then if he starts to move, right? I know how to move because, right? I don't have to be taught a technique. Right? He moves, so I'm automatically moving. Right? This is what comes out of uke when it's taught, when you learn this uke in the right way. Right? I'm never going to be asleep, right? Up to here. This much, he moves it up, right? But this is what he did. What I'm going to do, this is going to drop, right? Right. Right. Right? I'm never going to get caught this way. Right. Right? So, right? He moves. You could that's slow. Right. Right? So this is what we're trying to learn. We're trying to learn what he's doing, and he's trying to learn what I'm doing. And each person that does these things is different. No two persons going to move alike, so you got to move differently. Right? There was somebody here that asked me, right? If we're doing it this light, right, and you don't go, right, then what happens? Right? So part of the thing you have to remember is, right? Right? If I do this lightly, right, and you're just going to follow this, right? And because I can do this, right, I'm quite contented, right? Without raising any other, right, idea of what else I can do. But supposing, right, I want to do it this slowly, and she stops me. Right, then bang, this is going to come in. Right? This prevents this. If I do it lightly, loosen this up, right? Loosen, right? I can do it. I can do what I want to do. So you won't get kicked, punched, gouged. Aikido grab is not to stop the other person. Right? Hey, sword's coming down. You're not going to stop it. Come on. I mean, right? If you look at it from that standpoint, right? You're not going to stop this. Right? If she does it lightly, let's say she's a total beginner. She doesn't know how to do these things. Loosen up and she just starts to move. Right? She does this. I'm just going to move exactly the way she's going to move. Right? And I'm getting a good practice how a beginner moves. Right? Or an expert moves. Right? Doesn't matter how she moves. Right. Right? I'm putting my body into the position that she wants me to get into. Right? Well, what if, well, she's a beginner, right? Right. Yeah, I can stop her, Month Sunday, she won't be able to move. Right? If she's a beginner. Because every move that the other person makes, as you get better at this, you can counter these things, right? And you start doing it, right? Right. I can stop every. Yeah, but right, for her to continue doing this, it's totally idiotic for her too. Right? Why do this? Why she can kick? You can use the other hand. Right? Because she couldn't do this. Right? That's where your mind star should be working. Right. But if I do this, why she won't kick? Right? So this is why this resistance when we practice has to stop. Right? Because soon, right? Okay, just a minute. Right? As soon as you start raising this, relax and just lower this just a bit, right? And close your feet up a bit more. Your feet's too wide. Right. Drop your center. Right. Then you'll be able to turn your shoulder better. Drop your center. Right. It's easier for you to turn, right? Because as you get lower. But if you stay up high, right, and you start, right. And this is why you're practicing to lower this, lower, right. And this is where, right, somebody start coming as you start practicing. Somebody can come ramming in, right? But this thing is out of the way, so, right? You seem to fly, he seems to fly over you, although he's hanging on. But if she didn't go down, wham, right, she gets caught because she can't get out of the way. And this is what does it. Drop you. Right. The other person is there, but seemingly as if they're going over you. And you avoid being injured. Because if they come ramming in like this, hey, 200-pounder, you know how they feel, right? They just ram you. So, right, this is what, right, but lowering, right. And although they come ramming, right, it's not the same because the whole body's out of the way. Right? And this is what we're practicing because, right, everything we do, you're trying to lower this, you're trying to lower this, right. Right? But there is no thing where, even if it's this kind of thing, right, as soon as you feel this, right, it's down. Right? And then this gets turned around, right? But not this, right? As soon as a lot of people just bend over, right? And then this comes, and then she can't get the top on. Because we got to learn how to get our body out of the way. This is all Aikido is, how to get out of the way, right? But how to get out of the way when the sword's coming this fast. This is the whole issue of the. Right? But we have to start somewhere learning this, right? If this never moves, right? How are you going to get out of the way when the crucial time comes, right? When the guy just rams you, right? She's falling back. Why? Right? She shouldn't be falling back. She's down, right? And she's going back, right? Down and forward, right? No, you turn the shoulder. You turn this. That's it. Right. Then your body will turn the other way. Right? You turn the shoulder. Right. That's it. Right? She's going to do it. And this part is not understood in Aikido, especially with uke. Right? Right. You start turning the other way. You start. Right. That's it. Right? Because if she would turn, right, the whole thing would start to go down, and now I have to start following her. Right? But if she stops, right, if she stops here, right, what's coming next? She doesn't know. Right? It could be ramming into her in the side, right? Or ram this down. But if she starts going down, the hand will go down, right? And then I have to start following her. Right, he moves forward. Right. Come on, come on, come on, get your head down quicker. No, now you're sitting down. You've got to be going forward. This is where it's so, right? Yeah, no, hold it. Now, hold it, right? Now, he's not going to, up till now, his key's going that way. As soon as he do this, now his key goes that way. Now his key going to keep going that way. That's it. Right? You cannot in the midstream. Right? This comes and you make your key go that way. No, you got to keep it going in front. Right. Right. So, right. That's it. I'm always going forward. Right? So, immediate thing. Right? And you have these throws. You're not holding. Right. Right? Relax. Right. You're going to move this forward. Right. Right. Now you're hanging on because why? His key's coming forward. Right? Before he'd let go. Right? If somebody throws and this grip comes off, your key's going somewhere else. If it was coming forward, you hang on to it. Right. Right. But you don't have to throw that hard. Right. You can put it. Right. But you don't have to throw either, right? You can turn it into this. Right? Right. Right. Key went back, right? Forward, that's it, right. Right? So, right, when we do these things, right, you turn around so you can keep your key going forward. Right. Right? Not so much that you can take these uke. Right? But even if you can take these uke and the key's going that way, it's totally useless. Except that you can take our, uke. Right? That's it. Right? And when this is understood, right? And when somebody does this, koregaeshi, it's the same thing. Right? Come in, you drop the center, right? No, why are you leaning so much? Drop the center so you can turn. Your feet are too wide apart. This is your problem. Right? Right. That's it. Right? Right? You can't turn yourself, this kind of thing. You've got to close your feet up. Right? No. Pull in, right? Get it out. Right? Now, I know it's frightening. Right? Somebody's doing a koregaeshi. You pull in. Right? The way you were pulled in. Right? Pull in the way you, right? Bang! This kind. You can't get out of the way. Right? Right? Our whole thinking is, He's going to do this and he's not going to do anything else. Right? The guy doing this is a total idiot, except he knows how to do this. Right? Come on. Right. Now that's better, right? Now you got room. And it's the same here. Right? So this is why we practice these things without getting so rough. Right? So you can get your ki coming out. Right? I know how rough these things can be. I've been in it, you know. Just because I don't do it doesn't mean I don't know. Right? But it serves no purpose. You do it fast and rough, right? All you get is scared. And as soon as you get scared, your ki's pulled in. Yeah, you might be able to do it. Right? But if you keep doing it this way, after right? No matter how rough they do it, your ki's going to be out. Because you start to realize this is the only way, the safe way you can do it. Right? Now, right? Because it's going to pay dividend for you. Right? I know, nobody mentions these things. Right? And 5 years from now, you wonder why you can't do a certain thing. Right? Because these are not alive. Right. Right. And this is all that I'm saying. Right? You have to make, you have to remember these things. I know it takes time. It took me 3 years before I was able to stay down. Right? But nobody tells you. Right? So 4 years from now, you still won't go down. Right? Right. Right? So, right? If you went down, right? And if this thing comes up, you can go down. But if you didn't go down, you came in flat, and this comes up, right? And this is what's happening. You won't get yourself out of the way. Right? So, right? Now do it with a movement, right? Right? He's moving, and because what he's doing is he's pushing all this, right? In a sense, it's like this, that ring, right? Right? Now, this whole thing's going to be combined with what O-sensei used to say. He used to say, "Kokoro o maruku, tai-san-men ni hirake," right? And I would say it took me 15 years to translate this into English. Moving your intent on the orbital path, right? Right? Finish off in a humming. There's two types of center, right? There's a center where, let's say this circle is a big, I stand in the middle, right? And describe a circle, right? And the other one is, right, I make a circle. Right? It's not this, he's coming, right? I can't do it. Right? If I do it that way, right, if he comes around fast, right, I can't throw him. Right? If I stand in the middle and turn this way. But if I, right, move, right, as if I'm making a circle, right, right? But the whole thing is, when you make the circle in Aikido, you don't have to do a full circle. You only have to do about that much. And the size of the circle could be this big and this much to it, right? So, this is where, right, he's coming. Now do it slowly, right? And this is where your center is going to work for you, right? Right. He could come, he could, right? And I'm moving, right? And I'm moving, right? But I don't wait that long. Right? You can do it anytime you want. And the whole issue of it is, right. So, right, just by watching this, right, he's coming around, I'm moving on this line. So, he's making a circle around me, but I'm making another circle that has nothing to do with him. This is like, right, he's making, if I was hanging on like this, right, it's like him making the earth turn, right? But for his turn that he gives me, I'm going to move in an orbital path, which has nothing to do with him. He gets carried along with it. Right? It doesn't matter if he pushes, just relax. Get just center down, right? Get both hands, right? And he starts pushing this way, right? But the move is this way, right? And it doesn't matter if it's a hand. It doesn't matter which way he pushes. If it's this way, right? But if I was playing the same thing he was playing and he pushes, I go with him and I have to move him, right? I'm never going to do this. It's too heavy. Right? Right? Seemingly, I'm going to go down and up. Right? But I'm not doing it. It just happens when I move. Right? So, we're going to do this one, and you might see this. Right? We do it on Aikido. This is the easiest. Right? This thing, he's going to be moving me, wrong. Right? But every time he moves you, right, there's a center which you back up on, ever so slowly. Right? And if you really understand this is all there's to it. Nothing else, nothing more. Right? So, right? So he can do it here if he wants. Right? I'm going to let him do one so you can all watch him do it. Right? Because the whole issue is, right, when I push him, right, and this is where we stopped before we ended the class, and right, this is going to move. Let me do this. And you're just paying attention to this line. And you're just going to move your feet back ever so slowly. No, he's right. His muscles coming in. He wants to go to the side. You do none of that. You just leave it there. He does nothing with these arms. The whole thing is done with the feet. No, he wants to go over there. You should be going that way. Right. Right? Because you should be moving on your orbit. I'm giving you, right, like the earth. I'm doing this to you. But you're going to move on the orbit. No. Before he starts, no, he still wants to go over there. Right, we can't give this up. Right, now he's off the orbit. Oh, he wants to do this. Because as soon as he do this kind of a thing, now he pins himself. Right? And he wants to do the which I'm doing. Right? Let me do that. Don't look at me. Watch this. Watch your own center. Right. Keep moving. Now you move this way. No. Watch it that you don't. Right? As you move, you're starting to pin this one. Right? It's still here. Move back. Right. See, but this is where this kind of stance doesn't work. You can't take a next step. Right? If he's being pushed on the next step, he's going to fall. It's got to be this way. His eyes are off this. No, the center's telling you where to go. This is the hardest thing, to watch your own center. You're watching yourself. When she holds this, right? No matter how I move her, right? You can see, right? This line going to her, it's in between her hand, and she's straight to it. And no matter how much I turn her, all it's saying is, right, from here back, just move your feet and move it back. That's all it's saying. And this is what, right? Moving your totality, right? Or your intent in a circle. Right? And if she wants to throw from here, all he has to do is turn into Hami on a stance, right? And bang, right? Now she got me thrown. Right? But if she was going this way, there's no way she's going to throw me. Right? Right? She can't. Right? Right? And this is where it's so difficult, right? This looks so innocent. I just went like this. She helps me, right? Yeah, I like this help. Right? But for her sake, she should be able to give this all up. I'm doing this. She's going to move on this. Right, bang, she got me thrown. And this is so quick. Right. Right. It's faster than, right? Supposing she could swing this back, and do this. Right? But this is the thing. There's no guarantee that she can swing this. If I'm really heavy, right? You were taught to swing this and move it over. Right? She's not going to be able to swing it. But this one, it doesn't matter if I fall on it, right? Right? Because she's not doing this. And this is why, right? The 70-year-old man is telling you, if I can do it, right? Any girl can do it. A 90-pound girl, right? Even if you're taught to lift this up, somebody's holding, right? She is not going to be able to lift it. Right? Well, she's not going to lift it. Right? This is why the beauty of this. Right? It doesn't matter if I hold this way; she's not going to lift it. Right? 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 So whether I hold this way and do this, right? And when I move this, it's the same as when you were doing Aikido, right? The whole center. Right. Right? When I hold this way and I move this way. No, keep your eye in the front. Because this is what's going to tell you how to move. Relax. No. Right? She got excited and she wants to do this. Right? She forgot how to move on the center. Right, if she moved enough, this thing would turn herself, right? But previous one, what happened? She wanted to do it, so now she couldn't move away far enough to get this hand to come over. Right. Hey, I mean, there's no way that she can twist this hand over. Right, and I'm going to start moving. Right. Relax it. Right? As soon as you get tight, when I'm starting to push, you're holding it back. Right? Why hold it back? There's nothing to hold back. Right? You don't care if the thing spins 40 miles per hour, 60 miles, 100 miles per hour. Because your thing is just this. As soon as this thing gets tight, right, we got some other thing on our mind. I don't want to go fast. Why? Right? We got ulterior motive. That's it, right? Right? Right. Now, if somebody start pushing this down, right? This is where, right? Doing this thing seems to go out the window, right? But no, you have it together, right? This is coming, and our whole problem is, right? Well, this thing drops from here to here. We haven't moved anything except the hand that's being moved, right? No, get it together. Right, there's no such a thing. Right? Right. Right? And if you just start doing it slowly, right? Right? Right. Ah, you got caught, right? Because you're not watching this. Right. Right? Don't be afraid to, right? Don't be, you're getting afraid, you want to shove it out. No, just move. Right, that's it. Right? Our mind mustn't come off the center. Right? No matter how fast they knock it down. Right? Hey, it doesn't matter if she knocks this down fast. Right? So, if I knock this down fast. Right? No. Right? And her eyes went over here. Her eyes should have been here. Then she'd have known what to do. No, see? Right? This thing should have come out here, right? Right, because the eye's on the center, right? But if you got swung around, right, and your eye goes over there, right? This half is dead. Right? That's why. If your energy, this is why we're practicing this. Your energy is going to be so strong coming out this way, right? Right. It'll be here. Right? We're working with energy, not muscles. Right? So now, after all this, like yesterday and today, doing this, right? In the ultimate end, what is the outcome of all this? Right? What are you supposed to derive from this? Right? And the whole thing is, right? If I come, right? And if I do it, right? Simply like this, right? You do nothing. You just do. Right? Right? If he's doing it nicely, there's nothing you can do. Right? But as he's doing it, he starts dropping this. Right? Right. Hey, and I'll start. Right? And I'll start doing it. Right? Because I'm going to do exactly what he's telling me to do. Right? Especially with the grab. Right. Right? And he's doing it. And then he stays exactly where I am and he does it. There's nothing I can do. Right? And he's doing this. Right? And he gets over anxious and he starts dropping these too much. Now he's telling me to go, right? So I get my whole body involved in it. Right? Right? I'll do this. Right? And then he pushes down too hard, right? He's telling me to move the body that way. If he'd have just lift it and just went like this, there's nothing I can do. Right? And this is where when you start, and you start pushing from the top down, right? He's just telling me to move the hand down, right? So I move my body down. Right? You do exactly what he tells you to do. This is what we're learning. Right? Right? We're not trying to learn new tricks. This is our whole problem, right? Lord, we're trying to learn new tricks. Right? There's no trick, right? He's telling you exactly, right? I come and he starts moving, right? So you follow him. If he does it right, there's nothing you can do, right? He's done it fine, perfect, right? Right? But it's the same thing here, right? You come around, right? And if he does it right, there's nothing I can do. Right? But if he comes around and we start pushing too much, right? Pushes too much, he's telling me to move. So now I can counter this. Right? Well, let's do this. This is the easiest one. Now you're pushing. If he does it right, it's down flat. So this is what I mean. This is the stop point. If he starts pushing beyond this, right, and then, right, and this is the ultimate, right? And these are not only the only one that you can do. But if he stays here and he just pushes up to here and he just walks forward, there's nothing I can do. Right? Right. But if he pushes beyond this line, right? Right? And there's hundreds of things are possible. Right? And you call these counter. But for the beginners, don't like counters because, right? These things will come of itself without learning counters. Right? But for Robert's film's sake, right? I'll just do it. Because these has to come by itself, right? By loosening your body. Right? Right. He pushes. Right. And I'll be able to do it. Right? But let's do it this way without slamming each other anymore. Right? Here, he pushes. And this is what. Right? This is where the whole thing. When he pushes this center line, when he pushes too much, you just move back on it, right? You'll be able to do it. But if he does it right, there's nothing you can do, right? If you come up with a better example, right? Then these things are so hard to see, right? Oh, you can be doing it this way, right? He's pushing it down. If he tells you to push down, right? Right. You can. Yeah, I'm getting so tired that I can't bend over, so. Right? But it doesn't matter. They do it this way if you push it too far. Right. Yeah, there's many ways to cook a goose. So even here, right? He puts this down here and he starts pushing down on it too hard, right? Right. If he does it slowly, around the edge, there's nothing I can do. But if he starts to get rambunctious and he starts over push, right? Because the whole thing is moving with your body. So let's just do this easy one, right? This is the easy one, right? And do it both ways. You just stay at here. You're not going to come past it. Just move your feet forward. There's nothing I can do. And this is where, when you start pushing with your hand, right? Now you're pushing into me. Right? The amount that he pushes in, you're going to move away. And when you read these accounts of these swordsmen, right? When they used to stand like this, right? Some of these samurai can stay on that point so much that they say they look at him and they can't see the body, right? The point becomes so threatening that, yeah, he's standing there. And if you're not fighting the guy, right? But if you're fighting him, all you see is that point, right? And if you take your eye off that point, then bang, he's in. Right? I don't want you to become that frightening or anything, right? I just want you to stay here so you can save your own lives, right? It's the same as driving, right? You got your hand on the wheel, right? You're looking out. Where does most of the accident happen, right? And you're looking over here, looking over there. Right? Hey, we can drive 3 hours like this. It's not difficult. Joe just did it, right? But when I ask him to do it here, maybe last 5 seconds. This is so difficult. Right? And you know on the road, if you don't keep watching, something could happen. Right? It's an instinctive thing. But this is where you have to start realizing this too. This is an instinctive thing. Anywhere I can come in is here. Right? And if you got it covered, I can't come in, right? If you stayed here, I'll be here too. If you lose that, see, our whole danger is if you lose this and the other guy stays here, bang, it's in. right? So you don't care where I am, whether I'm here or whether I'm away, right? Long as you stay here. But you don't want to be over here when I'm here, then you're in trouble. This is the kind of lesson we're trying to learn, right? How to save ourselves. Why do I say stay here, stay here, stay here, right? If we really realize our life is in danger, maybe we can stay here if we think this way, right? But no, we look at, when I say that, oh, Henry, this is hard, right? This isn't good enough an excuse to stay here. It's hard. It isn't. Right? And then the whole thing is that Henry's making me do something impossible, right? Hey, what if your life depended on this? Maybe you'd start staying here. And I've been working with some of these people, right? 4 or 5 years. And in the last 2 or 3 weeks, they start to tell me, Henry, I start to realize I gotta stay here. This is all, right? I don't care whether you stay here or not. Right? This is a one-time deal I'm putting this on. Really, I really don't care whether you stay here or not. I'm just telling you, you have to, that's all. And you have to, right? I'm just telling you the reason. And if you think the reason is absurd, stupid, ignore it. But if you think it's, right, going to save your life, maybe you work at it. Right? Okay, we're going to talk today about balance, right? And right, when we come, right? Okay, kind of straight. You don't have to brace, right? Right, right. Right. And balance is, right, he and I, right, are, right, if I go this way, he's going to move. But if he moves too much, he's going to lose his balance, so, right? He's going to start going down, right? And in order not to lose, he's going to start turning. And this is where, right? And this is why all these Aikido kind of throw occurs, right? Not so much that I do this and I turn him around. When this is practiced only this way, right, he's really not understanding what he is supposed to do, right? And this is where uke only has a half a knowledge, right? And the teacher teaching has only half a knowledge as to what to tell the uke, right? And it seems to appear, he just stays like that and I crank him around, right? It seems totally okay. But it wasn't so when we were there. Why? Right? I do this, but he's coming in this way, pushing in this way, right? But the whole thing about this pushing business, there has to be a stop somewhere, just like this yin and yang, the white and the black. Right? The white does not come into the black, and the black does not go into the white. Right, so he starts pushing this, right? He has to stop somewhere. Now he has to keep coming in, but he can't push into it. So his own energy starts to take him out. Right. Right? And this is the part about this yin and yang thing that's not understood. Right? He does, and he pushes in. Right? We're not trying to learn when he comes in that he can do this to me. Yeah, this is part of it too. But as a good uke, it's his turn to take the fall. He comes in, but he cannot come past this. But he got to keep coming. So automatically he starts to turn. Right? And whether I do ikkyo or not, it turns into an ikkyo. Right? And people who have never heard of this might this seems totally foreign. There's an embarkation line right at this point. You got to keep pushing, but he cannot come into this. Right? Do it. So what is he going to? No, not going to lean. Right? Leaning is no good because you're pushing into it. Right. You got to keep coming in. No, you're not going to move it. Right. You start to turn. Right? But you will not turn. you will not go down there because you're going to get kicked. You're going to start moving off. Right. Right? Right. Right, either this way or that way. See, the whole thing up to now, as I see this, like Tenchinage, right? You grab and do it, and you just stand there, You're not going to do anything for now, right? Right? And it's my job to whack him down, right? More or less, he just keep coming, right? Standing straight up. Right? But this is not the whole thing about Aikido. This is not what we're learning, whether I can get him down or not. You'll be able to. There are ways to do it. But what I want to teach you is from a uke standpoint, because if your uke doesn't improve, right, you're never going to comprehend what this is all about. Right, he's going to come in. Right. So even if I don't know Tenchinage, right, let's say I'm a total beginner, I'll be able to do it, right? Because he's going to do it. Right? Now even doing from here, right? If I'm a white belt and you're in this position, right? And I start to push this, it's very hard to get him down. Somebody's been doing it for 15 years. Well, that wasn't the case. I started doing it, right? Right, just a minute, you didn't come in, you just drop. You gotta come in, you gotta know where, no, don't do it so fast. Right, know where this stop is. You come in, right. You gotta know what you're turning to, right? You're not doing, I gotta turn, no. That's it. Right? So this is why, right? If he was doing this, right? He touches this. I'm going to start. Right? And the whole thing. Right? Right? Even if he was a white belt, he could do it. And mutually, we have to practice this way. Right? Otherwise, the whole thing can become, right? Especially for white belts, you don't know how to, right? How do I get him down? This is the only thinking. Right. Right? And he'll soften up, I'll soften up, everybody will soften up. Right? So let's do it from here. Right? And let the uke, right? Drop this down by coming in, drop it, so you can turn. Right? And you're going. Right? Right? Right now, I'm just letting him come in. Right? But supposing I start moving in, now he has to do it much quicker. Right? Right. Because this point, the center line that's hitting, right, is meeting. Right? But if I do this, right, if the center line doesn't, right, whoops. No, you went down to do what you thought, right? The whole thing is moving, so you got to stay on your feet. Right. Yeah. And this is the line, the invocation line of, right? When do I go down? When do I stay up? This line is a very delicate line. And only these people who knew these lines would also say, call him up and say, okay, come, you take uke. Right? And he can tell right away watching, right, who has it and who hasn't. If you haven't got it, you're never called. Right? And this is why in Terry Dobson's film, right, he says, you can make a total fool of yourself, right, if you can't read what Osensei wants. right? It's not just attacking, right? The uke has to know exactly, right, what this is called for, right? Relax, relax somewhere, loosen your shoulder, right, so you can turn, right? I'm trying to get all you guys to soften up, right? Right. So then, right, when we do these things, right? Yeah. Right? Alright. Right. Now I can respond to what he's doing. He comes. Right? Right away I'm responding on this point. Right? Right? And then it doesn't have to be that, right? Give me this hand, right? It doesn't have to be a throw like that. Right? Right. Right. You can turn it into anything you want. Right? Right. Now whether the other person is quick enough to respond, right? So, or you can do it this way, right? This, oh, nothing is different in Aikido from one technique to another. They're all the same. The outer form is different. Right? Right? But that's no different than this. I'm going to give you this one, right? Right. So, right. Let's do, right? I always loved Ikkyo, and Osensei loved Ikkyo too, right? He used to say, right? If we got stuck, he said, do Ikkyo. Because he used to say, if you really understand Ikkyo, and not only the Nage, also the Uke understand what you're doing, right? You understand all this understandable, right? Right? Come on, down, 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 right? Why does he stop? He goes down and he stops. Why? Because he stops pushing. Right? Right. Right? I know I'm asking you a lot when you're doing this. Right? But if somebody attacks you, he's going to keep pushing. And you got to keep coming out as long as he keeps coming out. Right? You can't say, he keeps coming out, right? Oh, I did this much, I'm going to stop. You can't go back, right? As long as he keeps coming, you got to keep coming, right? And in this way, right? Relax, don't push me. You move the other way. Move your hand, move the other hand the other way. Right, right, right? Now, one thing you got to do is when he comes in and when you start pushing, right? You can't keep shoving into the other person. Right? Because whether you're touching or not, there's a line that you must not cross. Right? That's just like somebody's got a sword here and you're just walking into it. Right? And this is why the whole thing gets heavy. That's better. You're moving. And that's too much. Right? Now this line between too much and not too much is a very delicate line. Right? That's better. Right. Oh, everybody love practicing with you, right? It's true, right? But I'm not saying that later on, if you're doing it to somebody, that you can't push this way. I'm not saying anything like that, right? For the time being, to understand this for your sake, right? You got to know exactly where to go. That's better, right? And this is what's going to make you light. Your physical weight doesn't change, but you will get light. Your body movement will get light. Right? Otherwise, you always seem to be dragging this heaviness. Right? Right. Right. Okay, so let's do Ikkyo. Right? So let's see, we start from here. Right? We just start from here. Right? Well, now don't go too fast now. You can't go too fast that as I'm doing this, you're slipping away. Well, you're going to do it at the same time. This timing is very important. That's it. So there's no space in between while I'm doing it and while he's doing it. Right? Right. That's it. Good. You'll be a different man by tonight. So, always keep in mind, right? If the attacker is really attacking you, it's not like the dojo, right? You do something, right? And he's going to flip over or go down, right? And this is why it comes to the point, you know, when it's not done right, it becomes very brutal, right? But there are ways to do it. If you take his energy and you move with him, right? The way his energy is moving, right? Right. Okay, you come again. What do you weigh?
210.
210, right? He holds. Well, one hand, right? The other hand, right? I am never going to lift this up, right? He's 70 pounds heavier than me, right? He doesn't have to know Aikido, right? He just has to sit on me and I'm finished. It's true. It's true. Right? Especially when I get to 70. I haven't got the energy to pull him away, push him away. Right? But if I can move the way he is moving, right? Right. Whatever he does, doesn't matter. Right. Right? I'm not dealing with him. He's telling me exactly where he's going to be. Right? He's moving. Right? And even if he wanted to stop, he can't stop once the movement starts. Right? He can't. Why? Because I'm not unbalancing him. I'm going to keep him so balanced that he can't move. Although he's moving, he can't. This is the only way he can move. If I have to unbalance him, like most Aikido books says, right? When you're learning this, you're unbalancing him so he'll fall. This is the most logical thinking, right? But you get to 72 or 3, you start to find even that doesn't hold logic, right? Because your body can't do it, right? So you're not going to do it that way. So you're going to do it the way he's doing it, but in a little different way, right? And he can't change it. There's nothing he can do. Right? As long as I keep moving, he has to move. Right? Right. So it doesn't matter if it's a hold. Right? Then I can do it. I can do this till I'm 80. Right? This is what I used to amaze, O-sensei used to amaze me. Right? He was, when I first started seeing him, he was about 82. Right? And progressively as the years, right? Physically, he was getting weaker. But his technique in Aikido was, right? Becoming, right? Much more so that he doesn't depend on his body. Right? It doesn't matter how strong they say he was. 80-year-old body's an 80-year-old body. And right? And you can't deny this natural aging that occurs to everybody. Right? Because if he holds the other end, right? Just hold it, right? Hold it, both hands, right? And if I start doing it, you're not going to move. Right? But if he's coming, and if I start moving, right? Then the whole thing could be possible. Right? But no, you can't stop it, and then I'm going to go a different place, right? He's got me beat. I can't win. Right? So on his move, he's coming, hey, right? Maybe this, right? And then I could do it. Right. But there's another way we can do this as he comes. Right? Totally effortlessly. It doesn't matter how fast he comes. Right? And because the faster he comes, if I'm doing it the other way, right, it's harder for me. Right? But if I do it the way, right, he does it, I don't have to do anything. And it's the same in any of these techniques. Right? If he comes with one up, one, then if I start pushing this over, right? Right. Right? And he pushes, right? And this center is moving. You move back, right? Right? You don't have to do any of these things, right? Just say, right? Right. You cross the thing, grab the guy, whomp him. Right? None of these things are necessary. Right? She's telling me where it is. I just have to keep moving back on this. But when you move back, your energy has to be going out. You can't move back. There's no energy that moves back. These two energies coming together. Right? How do they stay together? By coming. Energies. Right? Everybody knows we're the center, and I pointed out to you this weekend, right? And we just care to abandon it. No, we got a better place to work with, left or right, right? But in any martial art, right? When we do these things, right? The whole thing is to guard your center, and if you're not there guarding it, the guy who can see this is going to be right in there. And this is why we're practicing this. So I'll stay here and stay here and stay here, right? So the other guys can't come in. Right? Well, you guys think I'm moving to do a technique. No, I'm moving just to, right? Stay centered to myself. That's all. I'm not trying to do a technique. And whether it's a hold, right. Right. I gotta move back. Right? Right. Right. Now just do it for one for now. Right. Right? I'm not turning in. I'm going in. I can't, so I gotta move back. And then he and I will turn together. I'm not turning in. Right. Right? No, you saw me do this, Tsuki. Right? There's no way that I grab this. He's coming, and I'm going to push him back to throw if he's really coming out. Because he's not going to move this hand back. I'm not going to be able to push this back. Because I'm not pushing his hand back. It's just happening. Right. 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 Right? I'll throw him every time he gets up. Right? So, right? And this is why, right? Before we go home tonight, right? I know you won't be able to do this, right? But this might come handy 10 years from now, right? We're going to do this, right? And we were doing this, right? Open hand, right? How does this thing work? I put it here. I push. But I can't keep pushing this. Right? So now I start to respond, right? Right? It's not working because, right? He comes here and I do this. Right? But I could do it in such a small move, right? Right? But I want you to do it in a big move, so, right? Right. I push, but I cannot push past into it. It's like holding a baby, right? You don't grasp it and keep tightening, 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 right? When you hold a baby, right? Everybody knows when to stop. Even the mother crocodile knows. I mean, except human beings don't understand. Right, push. Right. Or you can turn, right? Right. I'm not moving to through the throw. The throw is a different part. Throw is what? Right? Now, right? It's the same as when he comes and moves this. Right? I have to obey his size. And if he starts closing it, right? Okay, he starts closing it, right? And he's pushing. Right. But it starts to work this way too, right? And we did this yesterday with this, right? Push, right? And you're moving back, right? As you're pushing forward, right? Right? And this the same thing is happening, right? Right, beyond this line, I cannot go in there. Right? Nothing of your left side goes into your right side. Right. Right? And, you know, I've done these wall exercises, you're pushing. Right? And of course, this wall, no matter how much you push in, you can't go into the wall. Right? Just stand there. Right. Your body should be this light and you should be able to move. Right? The whole body should respond. Right? You can't go forward as soon as there's a push. Right? So I can, right, go into that side. I've got to stop. Right? This is why you got to get this yin and yang. Study it. The black does not go into white. The white does not go into black. Right? But it's as if this wall, he is just a wall. And I'm doing this, right? And the wall comes moving forward. And as he comes moving forward, I'm still going to do it. Right? Right? The wall is still here. Right? Right? Now the wall's here. Right? And in order to back up, I got to back up by going forward. I can't go forward anymore, so I start backing up. Right? But as soon as I start backing up, the hand starts to drop. I'm not dropping it. It drops on its own between him and I. Right. 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 Or I can let him do all the thing. Right. I just stay here, watch the middle. Right. Right. The option is, you know, so many options to doing this. Right? So it's fantastic. You can, right? You make it into a turn, and you make it into that. Or, right, turn this way. So I want you to get thinking, I'm not making this up. Right? It's not idea from Henry coming out to do these things, right? It all arises from obeying that principle. The black and white cannot move, but I got to keep moving in, right? If I'm attacking him, right? He's just standing, but I can't go into that. So what happens? I'll start moving off, right? But as soon as I start moving off, this is what happens. Right? Right? I'm not per se, right? You got a hold of me. I'm doing this, right? I got to keep going there, but I can't go past it, right? So I start moving off, and start moving off, and he starts to come forward, and this is what happens. And this is all it is.